Alrighty folks, welcome back for some more TechNodefirmacraft. This is Anisos, of course, and I'm just outside of base here. We're going to plant a couple of these fruit trees that we've got set up. Now when we plant these, we want to make sure we've got 2 spaces on each side, so basically 5 by 5 for leaves. So we could chop these down, but I think this one at least will be okay because the fruit trees are not that tall. So 1, 2, 3, we'll go 1 extra just to be careful. Now this starts as just like a little stump thing. It'll get bigger and then the leaves will actually grow out on the sides. And once it's all grown up, I can show you kind of how to chop down the sides of it so you can get saplings. 1, 2, okay, good. All right, so this one needs 2, the next one needs 2, and I'll probably do 1 extra just to be safe and have a little room between them. So we got a cherry tree and we've got an orange tree and we still got that green apple tree in here, but we're going to save that because some other folks are probably going to need that to complete that or turn that quest in. I'm trying to see these guys. Okay, they've been familiarized for the day. I'll probably show you that in the morning too, because you need to keep familiarizing your livestock, or basically they kind of forget who you are. And if they forget who you are too much, then they get mad and they won't like right now they won't let us get milk from those guys. They won't let us breed them, all that kind of stuff. So we are getting a few blueberries coming in. That's good. A little bit of fruit in our diet. And we're going to finish off this salad and see if we can break the bowl. Nope, didn't break the bowl for once. Great. The bowls seem to be breaking a lot. There's half a salad in here. Actually, there's a tiny little bit of a salad in there. That's weird. All right, I'll just finish that off. And I broke the bowl. Man, those bowls are breaking a lot. Like, way more than they used to. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a setting somewhere. I've never seen a setting for that, but that all the guys have mentioned that. So anyway, okay. So the other thing is I have a pick kiln going over here. Should be getting 1 hour remaining. Sorry, 1 hour's remaining. I have a pick kiln, and we're going to make our first set of tools. So I already got a pickaxe head that one of the other guys has made up. It was an extra, and I've got enough in here. We should get 2 ingots worth of bronze out of it. And bronze, let's see, let me just look up. So if we look up cassiterite, well, I guess you can just look at bronze directly, but if we look up cassiterite, and we can see we need about 90% copper and 10% cassiterite or tin. And I changed the config, so if you hold shift over top of this, it says or dictionary or small tin. So you can tell that cassiterite is tin because there are several different kinds of copper, several different kinds of iron, several different kinds of, I think actually there is only one kind of tin, but it's not called tin. It's called cassiterite. All right, so we're going to break this. You can pick them up one at a time, but if you just break it, they'll all pop in your hand. Hey, I did it right. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to right-click on the ceramic vessel. So I put 90-10 percentage of copper and tin in there, and now we have bronze 200 units, and it's 100 units to fill up a mold. And give it time. People sometimes click it in and click it right back out, and don't give it enough time. Well, actually everybody seems to do that once at least, including myself. Because you're like, click, shift click, I want to go quick before it cools off. Because if you wait too long, that will actually cool off and solidify back inside the vessel. So you have to do it a little bit quick, but not super quick. Okay, so we can now make a saw. And we can make a pro pick, and I've already got this pickaxe head. So we're ready for the next step. Let me check and make sure the quest is ready for us. It is not. Okay, so we got that. Oh, okay, this one wants us to make a saw. Alright. So here it tells us. So we need 100 units, and the little ones you find on the surface are 10 units each. What else is it going to tell us about here? Yeah, if you try to do an alloy and you get the wrong mixture, it'll just give you the nuggets back, so you can try again. It's not too big of a deal. And we just did the crafting, or the putting the mold in, and okay, and then it says we should make planks so we can finally expand our crafting grid, which is awesome. Alright, so we need to make a saw, which is just that, and that, and now that one should be happy. Indeed. And that's it for this part of the quest. We're going to get all these rewards. Awesome. So more copper, which is great. I found a fair amount of cassiterite, and I know the guys are up at that tetrahedrite vein over here. and they are mining for broke trying to find that thing. It's down really far in the world, so they had to dig straight down a whole bunch and then dig around and try to find it and everything. While they were doing that, I got a little distracted. I went up here, I can't remember why, and I found the gneiss rock, G-N-E-I-S, G-N something. Let's look it up. G-N-E? Yes. There we go. Nice. G-N-E-I-S-S, which is pronounced nice, apparently. So I found some nice rock up there and looked it up, and copper does spawn on the surface. Actually, tetrahedrite spawns on the surface of nice rock. So I ran around a bit, and I found a poor tetrahedrite that was right on the surface. You can even see some in the mountainside. And then over here I found I found a tetrahedrite on the surface, and I think we're going to head up that way and try to go mine that next, because they seem to be having a bit of trouble getting this one. It looks like it's all spread out and kind of a pain. So I think I'm going to go check that one out next, and we'll probably do that together here in just a minute. Okay, that's a lot of bad things. I'm glad we've got our bamboo fence up. Okay. I just looked at the map and a whole bunch of baddies popped in. Okay, so let's see where we are. Right, so before I use the saw, I'm going to wait and see if anybody else needs this. I know at least one person does, because you need an undamaged saw to turn this quest in. And I know at least one, probably two people that need it. So I'm going to not use the saw to make my planks yet. We'll do that next. Once we make the planks, of course, we can make the chest and get that done. And we can make the bucket and get that done. And we can make the barrel and get that done. But what we want to do is take a look at the art of mining. And I've already done this. I've already made a pro pick and a pickaxe head, and we're going to take a look at how to use those in just a little bit. But this is actually really useful information. Again, these quests have a lot of good info if you don't know TFC to read through here. So basically there's 3 layers of rock in the TFC world instead of like Minecraft where you just go down and it's just stone. There's 3 layers on top of each other, 21 different types of rocks, 4 categories, so sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous intrusive, and igneous extrusive. And they spawn in different layers and all that stuff. But the ores you find are dependent upon the type of rock in that particular biome. Okay, so this one is funny. Remember all those nuggets you found earlier on? Well, hopefully you marked them, because you should have known that somehow. Hopefully I said something about it. I probably didn't because we're playing multiplayer. Yeah, hopefully you mark their locations, because now you're going to need to go back there, and that's where you're going to find ore veins. This is not like normal Minecraft where you can just dig down and find ore everywhere. You're going to find veins, and they're marked by those surface spawns of ore. And there are other veins that aren't marked, but they're few and far between. Much harder to find if you just like dig a mine shaft and go for it. Okay, so we're going to do, okay, and there's a wiki, and Kitty. Kitty's one of the TFC devs, and she has written up a tutorial on the prospector's pick. But we're going to go over, and we're actually going to use this thing here in just a minute. We're going to see what the tetrahedrite vein I found looks like. I was just going to say I'm concerned because it's not showing. It's not giving me the 100%. But there we go. We got to put them on the thing. I wanted to make sure it wanted the full tool and not just the head of the tool or whatever. So it's time to mine, finally. So time to mine is one of the vanilla Minecraft achievements, and it happens super early on. Okay, and then this tells us about making cave-in, or supports beams so that we don't get cave-ins, and we'll definitely be doing that and working on that in just a minute. So let me catch up with everybody else, and then I will head back up to that tetrahedrite vein that I found. We'll try to do a little bit of pro picking and try to see if we can't find our way down into a copper vein. Well, tetrahedrite vein, which is copper. Alright, be right back. Alright folks, back at it. Did a bunch of stuff last night that I didn't record. Again, multiplayer, a lot of stuff going on, people at different stages and quests and stuff, and trying to get everybody synced up. But let's just catch up really quick. So I've got a... I think we just made the saw? I think we just made the saw, and I said I wasn't going to use it until I can see if somebody else needs it. I think we made actually the pick and the pro pick, didn't we? Yeah. So we made the saw, the pick, the pro pick. Turns out it's a crafting task, so everybody has to do their own saw and their own pro pick. And we also made a chisel and a hammer. So we had quite a bit for bronze last night, and we've now completed Out of Stone Age, the Art of Mining, which is the pick and pro pick, and we'll be talking about how those work here in just a minute. Did I claim this? Yes, I did claim it. And then we've got hammer and chisel, so now we can use this chisel to chisel stone into smooth stone. We can also set it to different modes where we can actually create stairs and half slabs and all that kind of stuff. So instead of crafting a half slab, you actually have a full block and then you chisel off bits of it, which seems to be a little bit more realistic, sort of. Okay, so we got all that, and we can pick shale, basalt, or core of the heart. Well, we're in a shale biome, so let's go ahead and pick the basalt blocks. Claim reward, please. Oh, yes, claim. Why you not let me claim? Because I have no room. Alright, I don't have enough room to do that right now. So let's do the next thing I was going to do. We are going to go digging, mining, and to do that, I'm going to need ladders, because we're going to want to dig probably pretty far down the ground. It depends, but we'll find out. And ladders are going to be super helpful. So basically what we can do is we can take the saw, and we can cut up logs, and we get these pieces of lumber, which are really pretty cool. But as you can see, I've already got a whole bunch of them. If we take these, we can actually place them in the world, and we can do super detailed little blocks and things. I'm just clicking quickly here. I'm not really even paying attention, but yeah. So we can make little whatever we want out of this, you know. So you can do super detailed, fun. Come on, there we go. Fun stuff with it. Oh, whoops! I just missed that one. Oh well. But what we can also do is use it for crafting, and that's what we're going to be doing here. Yeah, okay, that breaks the whole thing. So basically, if we take 4 of these, put them together, we get regular old planks, kind of like Minecraft planks, but they are TFC versions. And it does take a fair amount to make planks, so going to want quite a bit. But you do get, what is it, 8 per? Yeah, you get 8 per log, so it's not too bad. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually craft a crafting bench. Well, it's a workbench, whatever. This is the first thing you craft in regular Minecraft, and now we're just finally getting to it after getting getting metals, making a saw, all that kind of stuff. So once we pull this out, it actually disappears, and it opens up our crafting bench here. So we don't have to put crafting benches in the world, we just get a better crafting grid here. Now, I cut down a bunch of the bamboo, which grows back really fast. So basically you just cut it down, and then let it grow back, and cut it down, and let it grow back. And you can have all the bamboo in the world. And one of the things they added to this pack is if you put a saw in the middle and 8 bamboo around the outside, you get 8 wet forest bamboo, and then our poles, and then you can use that to make things that normal sticks would make. So here we go. We're going to make up a whole bunch of ladders. So instead of having to go around and punch leaves until my fist turns red, we can actually just break some bamboo and let it grow back, and then break it again, and we can make tons of bamboo poles, which then we can make into ladders. And just to show you guys, bamboo poles are actually kind of cool. These are those said poles right here, and these are holding up some smooth shale over top of this pit kiln, because it was raining last night when they were trying to do some pit kiln stuff, and the rain can actually put out your pit kilns, which is kind of annoying, but there you go. Alright, let's see how many ladders we can make. If I get it like a stack of them, that would be plenty. Should be plenty. Okay, we're at 45. Close. Yeah, it's probably good enough. We can always get more if we need it. I'll bring some bamboo with us, and we can plant that over there if we need to. But that's probably going to be good enough. So let's see. Let me organize a few things here. Let's see. No, there's no room in that one. Yeah, we need to move out and make our own base and do some serious organization soon, because there's just kind of stuff everywhere. You know, it's just a bunch of people playing, and nobody knows what people are putting in which box, and we're all running around trying to find who put what where this time and all that kind of stuff. Oh, limestone, yes. Let's do this quest really quick too, because I grabbed it. Flux powder. So I do have one piece of limestone we found. Actually, I'm going to show you on the map. I ran around and uncovered all this again last night, and now it's all blocked out again. So again, I don't understand why, but if I go to night mode, then it shows, yes, this is all uncovered, and I've been all the way up here. But if I go to day mode, this area right here keeps blocking. Whatever. Okay, so over here to the west, all the way out to the edge, this white area, that is limestone, and it seems to be just a little bit on the edge. It's like it was turning into limestone, but then it hit the water. So I looked a little bit out here. Let's see, night? No. We did look a little bit out here to see if there was some land and did not find any. But we did get some limestone from that. So, long story short, flux powder is used when wielding, or well, actually when welding in the anvil, and it is used to create lime water, which I think is for leather, if I remember right. Flux is, and then we've got some broken text for some reason, but anyway, crafted by crushing chalk, dolomite, limestone, marble, or borax with a hammer. So basically we take our hammer, we take our limestone, and we can crush it up and get 2 flux out of that. And that should give us what we need to complete that quest. Okay, so we get a bunch of flux. That's fine. Great. Oh, we can turn this one in now. So let's see. All right, we wanted the basalt. And the next one is to make the quern. And the quern is a Stone Age, well, it's basically a big stone wheel on top of a stone where we can crush flour up, and we can finally make, or crush grain up to make flour and finally make some bread. But we'll get back to that. We don't need to do that right now. What I'm going to do is sort out the stuff, and then we're going to apparently wait for morning because I wasted the entire day. And then we're going to head up to that tetrahedrite area that I showed. Let's zoom out. Where is it? It's a long ways away. Yeah, way up here. And I think I'm going to take a boat because I can boat all the way around and all the way down here and get really close to the base, pretty much like right in here. Boats are faster, and there's nothing bad out on the water, so boats are pretty darn safe in this pack too. So let me go get ready for that, and I'll catch you guys while we're out on the boat. Be right back. And we're back, folks. Just heading on over to the tetrahedrite location. I won't say mine yet, but the location. And I thought I'd just start the recording here as I'm heading over. So, like I said, I did take the water, the boat around. Let me just show you on the map here. So I took the boat all the way around, all the way down here, all the way. And I went out a little further to uncover some more map. So a long boat ride, but very, very safe and faster than walking for sure. So that's good stuff. That's quite a mountain. Oh yeah, I should have shown you guys. There's some really cool mountains right here. We'll see if we'll get to a place where we can see it. Native silver, huh? Alright, I'll mark it. Mark all the copper or stuff. Mark everything. Exactly. The only problem with marking like everything like I have been, oh yeah, cabbage, is there's just so much stuff and your marks get, I can't get through here. You end up with just so many bookmarks, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, this is a really cool and scary looking mountain because there's gravity in this. Oh, this is not the gravity one, huh? Oh! Is that the copper right in the side of the mountain? I did not see that last time I was here. Tetrahedrite. That one's over here. So what's in the side of the mountain here? Okay, this is a different vein. Okay, bouncing up. Oh, come on. And more stuff. Wow. Okay. This? Huh. So we've got some tetrahedrite here. We've got some 100 meters down there. Like right over there. And then that looks very much like some in the wall. Oh, that's 2 different types of metals. Okay, interesting. I was going to go show you guys how to pro pick and all that, but the first part is just trying to kind of locate the center of the ore vein. And here, oh, hey, look, soybeans. Center of the ore vein, and in this case, we may have different. Okay, this is bauxite, so this is not our copper, but we shall mark it. Bauxite. It says that it's worthless. That means the Whale tooltip thinks bauxite is useless in TFC, but in this pack there's other stuff you can do. I want to see what that is. There's other recipes and other stuff you can do, so it may not be useless. I don't see there any way to get up here. How about here? Oh yeah, look at that. What we got there? Oh, okay, so there is regular tetrahedrite up here too. Copper units 50. Right. Okay, so I can dig this one, and it's a little bit risky because as soon as you dig out and have an air gap below any piece of rock, it it has a chance of falling. In addition, when I break these, I'm kind of disturbing the area around here, so any of those could fall. So we want to be kind of off to the side here in case we end up getting a landslide or a cave-in. All right, well, there's another piece of tetrahedrite right there. Okay, good. Oh, and I just fell up. Fell down because I went back too far. Okay, so we're not going to do that. This bauxite, and we got tetrahedrite all over the place here. I'm not picking up the little nuggets because I kind of want to be able to see where they are and see where the center of the whole area is. But you know, another way you can do that is mark it with thatch blocks or cobblestone. This is all over the place. Let's go down here to my earlier mark and let's see, because this may be two completely different veins, or it could be like one horizontal vein that's going all over the place. All right, I'm not seeing any more here. Okay, so I think we've got two different veins, and I'm good with that because when you see a lot of stuff on the surface, that a lot of times means that it's a really spread out vein and it's going to be really tough to locate a big chunk of it. Alright, so in this case you can see I have marked with cobblestone, so this is where I picked up all the little pieces. So there's a couple pieces here, there's one over here. Boy, this is so dense I might almost want to cut some trees down. That might be it. Was there just like 3 pieces here? Yeah, okay, so based on that, right now we think the center should be roughly here. Alright, so we're going to get out a pro pick, prospector's pick, but yeah, we call it the pro pick. And we're going to say what's below us. Alright, so there are false negatives. If it says nothing, yeah, here we go. So we got traces of tetrahedrite here. Now we're going to go this way and see if we can get a, there we go. Now we got a large sample. Ignore all the ones that say, there we go, all the ones that say nothing of interest, and look for the large, small, whatever. Okay, so it's definitely over here under this. The other part then you want to do is go north, south, well, north, south, east, west, right? So very large, very large, very large, still very large. Wow. Okay, now we're down to large. So most of the ore should be right in here, it looks like. Let's go back the other direction. We're just basically trying to triangulate. So this thing will find ores within about, okay, right, so here is large. This prospector's pick will find ores within 12 blocks in all directions. So it's 12, well, 12 north, south, east, west, up and down. So it's basically a 25 by 25 by 25 cube. So we got to large here, right? And we got to large way down there. So we're going to want to go kind of the middle of those two. So right here-ish. And then we went that way, and it quickly went to traces, medium, yeah, medium, and then traces. So it's probably going to be under this and in the hill a bit. Let us not dig right next to the dirt that can fall on our heads. Do I even have a shovel right now? I do not. I also don't have water. Well, I have a jug of water, but I'd prefer to have be all full up on the water before I go in. Okay, so I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be right back with you guys when I've got a shovel and got some water. Okay, that's better. Got my shovel, got some water, and the day is getting away from us a little bit. Yep, it's late in the day. But that's actually okay. So I don't want that. Well, you know what? Any dirt that falls anywhere there could actually come down and break our ladders and stuff. So while I'm pretty sure it's that way, I'm going to back up just a little bit. So if we do get a, for whatever reason, stuff coming down off of that hill, well, no, that's not going to work. I need to be back a little bit further than that, don't I? I just don't want it to have an easy path to get to us. So let's go back one more even. So now if it comes down here, go thump, 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 and it'll stop there. And we'll be back a little bit further. Alright, so, really? I basically didn't need to make the shovel because we have rock directly under the dirt. Alright, so, rule number 1 of Minecraft, never dig straight down. In TFC, not really that big of a deal because there's the way the world gen works is there's a lot more rock, and there are caves, so conceivably you could fall, I shouldn't even say this while I'm doing it, you could fall into a cave, and that could be a bad thing. But yeah, I don't want to start with that yet. I got to do something else, but we'll do that in a minute. But in general, it's kind of okay to do this. It's a little bit risky, but not nearly as much so as in regular Minecraft, where you could just basically fall to your death at any moment when you do that. I want to put down a torch, but I don't want to break the side ones just yet. Let's do our prospector pick. Are we still very large? Very large, maybe? Medium. Okay, so that's interesting. I know it's really dark, but basically I'm going to kind of go up and down the wall here a little bit. So I've got a medium there, large, 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 large. Okay, that we're out far enough it's all saying large. But what it tells us is, if I go down here, I'm too far down, because we've moved to medium instead of to large samples. So it looks like it's literally going to be right in the wall there, and pretty darn close to the surface, which is, we could actually probably get away with, oh, it's very dark out here now. We could probably actually get away with just digging straight into that hill, and maybe we should actually. Let's, really, really dark, but let me try to go up the hill, because what I want to do is see, does it, yeah, it's very large, very large. It may actually be kind of up in this hill and not down in the ground. Oh yeah. So it's very large all the way up here. Do I have, yes, I have some planks. But the planks, yeah, that's not going to help me. Let's just do the ladder. Hello, ladder. And ladder. Okay. Still very large. Oh yeah, I think it's like up into this hill. Okay, well that makes it more interesting. I've never dug into a hill. I usually dig like straight down and then go prospecting around there, but it looks like, and I know it's really dark, guys, here. Let's put some light up. Still, okay, now we're to large. So finally, it's not at the very top of the hill. Yep, here's some tetrahedrite up here. So we've definitely found more surface pieces, letting us know that, hey, there's some copper here, some tetrahedrite. Okay, so this process can actually take a really long time sometimes. Sometimes you get there and you just basically find it right away, and it's no big deal. This one looks pretty good. It's giving us some pretty solid readings. I mean, we'll see once we start actually digging. But in general, it's giving us some decent hints and saying, hey, look, it's probably down in here. So I could dig straight down from here, but that seems a little overkill. Hammer. I've got a decent hammer now. Oh, I just knocked him off the edge. Yeah, that's something to be aware of, by the way. The fall damage is percent based. So it doesn't matter if you've got 100 health or 1,000 health, or I think you get up to like 3,000 health. If you drop enough blocks, you just die. And so do the mobs. So if you find somebody that's got tons and tons of health, one option is to drop it off a cliff and let it die from fall damage. Alright, yep. We definitely want to dig into the hill. We want to dig in over here. And we want to be up pretty high, because it's easier to dig down than it is to dig up. If there's stuff above you, every time you dig into the ceiling, you run the risk of stuff. Looking, there it is. Okay, there's the hole. You run the risk of stuff above you basically falling on your head because of gravity and cave-ins. There we go. Sorry, trying to talk and do things at the same time. All right, you can't see anything, I'm sure. There we go. All right, what we want to do is clear a bit of an area here. Like I said, I've never done a horizontal entrance like here before, but this should work out. We'll just dig a bit here, and then we're going to have to put up some support beams so that, let's see, so it's very large all the way down there. Yeah, and all the way up there. I feel like it's right here, guys. All right, we're going to go for this. We're going to put up the support beams, and we're going to start digging ourselves a shaft into the side of this mountain and see if we can find our copper. All this nice rock. Okay, so support beams. Let's get the support beams out. Probably not going to need so many, what are those things? Ladders after all. Usually you end up digging like straight down into the ground a ways. And then the ladders are quite helpful for that, obviously. Oh, it's not, it's almost gone, but it's not quite gone. Alright, fine. So basically we're going to do support beams, and to do those, oh right, we have to dig under. Okay, so let's just keep our feet. Oh, you're kidding me. Hey, I found the tetrahedrite. Well, I found some of it, and it is in fact poor. Alright, so that's the other thing, is I got a very large sample of it, but since it's poor, it may not be worth our time to try to really dig in here. Let's just break a little bit that's easy to see. Now, if we find it and it's like super easy to get at, then yeah, you might go ahead and do that. But if it's like really tough to find, since it's poor instead of normal or rich quality, you may not want to bother. Alright, so the other thing I did want to show while I was out here is you can right click with a chisel, and you have to have a hammer in your hand, and the default mode will turn it to smooth. Once you've turned it to smooth, that doesn't have gravity anymore, and it won't fall on your head. So if I stand under that, I'm pretty much safe. The problem is you can't chisel down here. Basically, you can only chisel, I think it's one block. There can only be one stone block above where you want to chisel. So I can't chisel there. Oh, I can, because there's only one stone block. So I can chisel there and I can chisel there. But now that those are chiseled, I can actually go down and chisel all this too. So if I wanted to make a nice little entrance here, we could do a little bit something like that. And of course it does take durability off the hammer, but no big deal. That looked very similar to the Genesis, the nice rock. I almost didn't see that. You guys probably saw it and were like, hey, it's right there, but anyway. Okay, so let's put up some supports. At least I want to talk about that, and then I will dig into the hill a little bit here. I mean, if I can find a very large cluster of copper, even if it is poor, it's still worth doing it. If we get in there and it's a little bit here and a little bit there and it's all spread out, then it's probably not worth it. It's probably better to go off and work on that somewhere else. Find a better vein of rich or at least normal ore. Okay, so how do you do support beams? Well, first of all, to make them, you put a hatchet in there and you put them like this, except the hatchet has to be on the top left. Really? Thought that's how you made them. Saw, not hatchet. Durr. Alright, saw has to be up here, and that you get 8 support beams per operation there. So I've already made up some. I'm not going to make more up right now because problems with inventory. So basically, you have to be at least 3 tall, and you place on the ceiling for the verticals, and it'll auto place the 3. You can go taller than 3. I don't know what the maximum is, but you have to be at least 3 tall. And then these do nothing, except they hold this horizontal piece between them. The horizontal piece will now hold up all the dirt, well, all of these stones, all of the blocks, one block above, its own height, and one block below. The problem is, okay, so just to prove that, I can break this, and this dirt doesn't fall because that horizontal block is holding it. Horizontal support beam. The problem is you're going to be in there and you're going to be like, oh look, there's copper in the ceiling, and I'm going to do this as an example, and then you're going to dig that one in the ceiling, and remember this one's supported, but the one above it is not. So as soon as this one's gone, there it goes. That piece of dirt, it could be gravel, it could be just a random rock slide, whatever. The piece of dirt fell down and broke our support beam. Now, you just broke this support beam, so the horizontal beam went away, and now you no longer have support for all the stuff around here, and it's 4 in each direction from the horizontal. So now you've got a problem because you just removed your supports, and you could now have a big old cascade of cave-ins that will basically wreck your entire mine and probably kill you if you're not super careful. So that's the basics on support beams. I'm going to go into this hill a bit. Based on seeing these, I think I'll clear cut this little area here. So basically what I can do is 4 from this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I can clear everything 3 tall from here in, and I can clear everything 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can clear all of this area out, and we'll just see. We'll see what kind of copper we end up finding. And again, if it's looking spread out and elusive, then we may not bother since it's poor. But at least we can talk about how to do it. So that's it for now. Let me do a bunch of digging, and I'll come back and show you what we found. Alrighty, folks. Let me show you what we got here. Ta-da! Well, that doesn't look exciting from here at all. There's a block in our way. So as you might notice, the tetrahedrite or the ores do not have gravity either. You can break all around them and they will just hang out there. So I actually like to leave the ores until last, because then you can kind of see where they're clumped together, and if it's a vein, which direction the vein is running. Well, it's always a vein, but sometimes they're more spread out than others. This in particular is not a really good vein. I've spent more time here than I should, really, considering that it's poor. But I wanted to give you guys a good view of what's going on. So I put up more support beams, and I've chiseled the block under each support beam so that it doesn't have gravity and it won't fall away. So all we have to worry about is stuff falling on top and crushing it, and we try to avoid that. Now, if stuff falls down, it will crush the ore. So if we had a big cave in now, I would lose all of this ore because I haven't been picking it up. But we'll just try not to do that. All right, so we had a couple pieces like right up here at the beginning. There's a few more pieces here, a couple more pieces down there. It's kind of just really spread out. I would guess that it would keep doing this kind of thing if we keep going down. And I mean, this part of me says, okay, well, it's going down this direction a little bit, right? You got a cluster here, and it kind of goes up that way. But then you got some over here too, so that kind of breaks that. I think it's basically just a big loosely clustered vein, and because remember we went all the way, well, it's night now, but we went all the way down in that hole and went really down, well, down far from here and then all the way up to the top of the mountain, and we got very large readings pretty much the whole way. My guess would be you're going to just get this kind of thing all the way from here down, probably to ground level or beyond ground level. And that's fine, you could do that, but I think it would be better to spend time finding another place to mine that doesn't have poor ore, has better ore, and hopefully is more clustered together so that it would be easier to get. Now, if we need it, we could probably bring 2 or 3 people over here with a bunch of pickaxes. Oh yeah, you can see I've already gone through like half of my. It doesn't show the durability. Let's turn on debug mode. F3H, by the way. Yeah, I've gone through like half of my durability, a little more than half, just mining this whole area out, and not going to get a lot for doing it. It's going to be all right. So I'm going to grab all this, I'm going to head back to base, and we'll go work on the next thing. But there's some basic mining tips and tricks, how to use the support beams and how to look for veins. And once you find the vein, you might decide, okay, this sucks. I don't really want to bother with this one. Let me go find a better vein. So it depends on what you find and how spread out it is and what kind of ore and all that. So, all right, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying, and as always, leave me a comment, hit the old like button if you would, if you liked it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Catch you later.